Hello and welcome to a new video presented by Stein Investments. Today's video is all about the relaunch of SIEA Pro NG in its latest version 4.0. And it deserves a video because we sometimes forgot about our best work until it quite outperforms everything else. And this terminal you see here in front is quietly running SIEA Pro NG since its initial launch in late November 2023. And it executes trades, and I barely notice it because it's running on one of our backup servers, and it just trades on its own. And I was wondering where these trade reports come from, because I nowadays mainly use IC markets, and in the past I used mainly JFD brokers, an excellent broker for several years, and I was wondering what is running and why I still receive these trade reports daily. And so I checked, and then I noticed, hey, there is something going on. There are more and more profit trades, as you can see here. And so I took a deep dive, was looking for this terminal until I found it, and then I sent the entire trade history from this terminal to my FX book to analyze it in detail, to see which pairs perform best with this strategy, which don't perform, and just to fine-tune SIEA Pro NG as I now did. So this is the raw trade history and performance curve sent to and analyzed by my FX book. And of course these numbers are not really impressive. Of course there is a plus, but the drawdown is still higher than the current profit. And the reason for this is this stage of losses, which is exactly the reason why we caught some negative reviews in the past. Nonetheless, it's pretty simple to analyze this data, and then you'll quickly notice in this summary that there are specific pairs that add a lot to this loss, like the British pound Canadian dollar here in this example, which is here adding a loss of 780, which is quite unnecessary. And on the other hand, there are pairs that perform excellent here, as these two euro pairs that add a lot of profit to cover these losses and bring the profit curve to where it belongs to. So that's exactly the reason why it is necessary to fine-tune. And so I filtered these symbols by their return to drawdown ratio, and so I came up with only these pairs left. And these are not all of them, because we have to consider the long-term backtest starting in 2018 as well. And so we made a comparison between the pairs that result based on these forward tests to the pairs that would be recommended based on the backtest for around 7 years now. Either way, if you just use these 7 best performing pairs, the US dollar Canadian is in here, even though it adds a loss in this scenario, because it performs in the long run in the backtest, and so we added it here as well. But either way, if we remove all the negative pairs, there are also some that add profit but have still an unnecessary drawdown. So they add more to the drawdown side even though they are profitable, and this is what causes negative experience and feelings for our customers and users of SIEA Pro NG. And so we removed and eliminated these pairs as well. Either way, you can see if we select the right pairs, we would have an excellent return to drawdown ratio of 1 to 3. So speaking about the backtesting, I'd like to start with the latest version SIEA Pro NG 369, which was used for this backtest, and there you see this is the original symbol selection. Risk per trade is 1.1, this is unchanged, and the backtest shows still some significant profit and a profit factor of 1.4, which is not ideal. And the main problem is this drawdown, which is here between 16 and 18%. And we will see that in the equity curve as well. These stages where the performance drops are exactly those we want to avoid, and these ones cause these unpleasant feelings for customers using this tool. And then that's unfortunately the stages where we catch the negative reviews for our tools. Of course, it is deserved because they just started and they see it doesn't perform as expected. But if you see the big picture, how it performs in the long run, it's definitely a different story. Either way, the problem is that we have a gross profit here of 982,000 and on the other hand a loss of 700,000. Total trades is 1,100, which is a lot, and of course the more you trade, the more risk you take. And we analyzed this backtest to see in detail which of these pairs performs best. And so we stripped the symbol list down, and I show you the difference now to SIEA Pro NG in its latest version 4.0. And the result is a better profit factor. The net profit dropped down to 151, that's 100k less. But on the other hand, we have now a max drawdown between 5 and 6.5%. And this is what counts, because the drawdowns decides if a user is satisfied with the product or not, especially in the long run. And we still can't avoid drawdown stages, but there are a lot less and they are a lot shorter. There are still stages where it stagnates, there is no performance to the upside, and then we have also these stages where it purely performs and the performance and profit is running to the upside. So this is what impresses me the most, and we are still at a risk of just 1.1. And if we now raise the risk, because we can do so if we have such a low drawdown of around 6%, that's almost nothing, then of course we can start playing with risk per trade. And if we then start the backtest, we will surely end up close to the profits we had with the prior version of SIEA Pro NG as well. Here you see these little stages where we have some loss, but that's normal at trading. Trading is just a probability game, and the point is your strategy good enough to perform in the long run? And the one we developed here is definitely proven to perform in the long run. So the backtest comes back with a result of 247,000, and the drawdown is now between 7 and 8.5%, so that's still nothing. We have only half the trades, so the trading costs are reduced by 50% as well, and we have still the same profit as before, but at a very low drawdown level. And if you like, you can raise the bar even higher and go with a risk of 2% or more, but that's up to you. If you like to run a backtest yourself, please take care to install SI Connect MT5, and I highly recommend testing it on MT5 because the MetaTrader 5 is the only terminal that is able to handle multiple symbols within one backtest. That's not possible with MT4. So even if you are interested in the MT4 version, please do the backtest with MT5. SI Connect is necessary because it downloads all the information needed. The next thing you need is the URL from our data center to download all this data, and this URL is only necessary for the live trading stage because this is for the download of the news file, which is also relevant for the trade execution in the forward test or on a live account. So to summarize all this, we didn't reinvent the system. We proved that it works and we just fine-tuned it. And if you are interested in SIEA Pro NG as well, I can highly recommend having a closer look here at the product page right now. It is currently discounted by 30% and available at $4.99 for the next 10 buyers, but 3 copies are already sold, so there are only 7 left at this price. So if you want a battle tested strategy with real forward test result, this is your moment and opportunity to get your copy at the lowest possible price right now. You'll find the link to the product in the video description below, and in case of questions, just drop me a line and I'll be happy to assist. Thanks for your attention. I'll catch you in the next one.